Good afternoon. It is January 19th, 2021, and this is what we are looking at for the day. It was a range day. This yellow bar is the overnight highs. This is the overnight lows. And prices pretty much respected that. They broke a little lower, so um, I didn't measure to see what point when they broke lower would be like the measured move. That's looking pretty accurate though. So they didn't quite go there. If I did the smaller range, let's see how that goes. But then I would have to measure it from here. So if you do measure it from here, prices went a little further than that and bounced here. So that'd give you a good target. But anyway, prices were ranging. As you can see, I have a lot of lime green arrows, meaning aggressive trades. You just didn't get a lot of good signal bars today. And some of them, as I go through it, I might change my mind and say, you know what, that's not really that aggressive. And some of these blue ones might actually be aggressive. But let's take a look. Yeah, I just didn't see a lot of good. A lot of the signal bars were just not good enough to be entering on. So let's take a look. Right before the open, you see this range. We had this big move up overnight from yesterday, I should say, and this price just broke into this range. Right before the open, we had this move right here, and whoops, started seeing a little bit of support at this level right here. So that's another reason I like this. Is because prices were trying to make it back lower and they weren't. Let's see. And it held above the EMA. It's hard to say, here prices were being held here. There's room back to that line. This is definitely aggressive because it's in the midline of what would be that range I just marked. But it's also just in the midline of these overnight lows and highs. So this is kind of in no man's land. The signal bar is great, but it's a tough call. And as you can see, I guess people went short beneath this bar. So when you go long above that and it breaks above that, people got trapped. Which explains the big move up. I want to say something here. I was trading the MES and I was waiting to go short, but I didn't get a good signal bar here. Let me see if I can show this. This is the MES here, and we had this. Is this open? Okay, there we go. I had a sell order in. Let's see if I can show you what happened. I had a sell order in right here as prices were going up because I was expecting to sell. I turned for probably 5 seconds to I don't know, do something with my baby, and my order got filled. The price was up here when I looked away, and my sell order was down here. So luckily I'm only trading the MES, so I lost $10 on that. But that's why you trade, that's why you start with the MES, so you can avoid those mistakes. Because if you're trading the ES and you have $500, you're trading 10 contracts, you could lose $1,000. So just something to note. So anyway, prices, fall, probably just messing with people, trapping people left and right, chopping people up. But then we start to get this channel down. And I marked this as aggressive. It's not, it looks like a second entry short. The signal bar is kind of neutral and it's going into the overnight lows, but it bounces off the EMA and it's off the top of this trend line. So I do like that. I do like this trade, but it is aggressive because the signal bar is pretty neutral. And look, that's like a micro range right there. So definitely aggressive. But prices continue to trend down, and they do bounce in this area. Didn't really get. It doesn't look like we got an overshoot because this channel looks pretty accurate. I don't think you could take this. I mean, prices were ranging overnight, so I would be expecting it to go back in. So I wouldn't go short beneath this, although it looks tempting. So prices come down here, bounce, and look, you're just not getting good signal bars, really. Bounce, go back to the bottom of the overnight lows, bounce, comes back. You get a pretty good signal bar to go long above if you want to do that. I put it as aggressive because we didn't really have this support drawn out yet. And look at this big move. All these people getting trapped going long, you don't know when that move is going to end. So yeah, this is aggressive, but it's like a double bottom here. Price go back up, all these longs get trapped again, and you finally get a good solid trade. It's off the overnight lows. You know people are getting trapped going long above this one. Great signal bar. It closes beneath the EMA. It's at the top of this range. There'd be room to scalp out before the midline. So, oh, look at that gap down. I didn't even notice that. So maybe you wouldn't have even been able to get filled here unless you put in a limit order. Look at that gap. So the bar closed right here and opened. Looks like a tick beneath that. So it'd be a little difficult to get filled there. Oh, well, you would put your order a tick beneath that, so you would get filled. Anyways, prices bounce again. I don't think I'd go long here just because that signal bar is a little, it's bullish, but it's a few ticks away from closing on its high. And this is kind of like a triple top right here with a very bearish signal bar. I'd take that. I don't know how much risk is involved. 11 ticks, it's almost 3 points, so fairly high risk. And then you get these again. The signal bars are no good. I would imagine, yeah, people probably got trapped going short here because this looks like a channel down. You know, so people probably started going short here, heavy. Maybe got trapped out. And then we get this price acceptance up here. That's why prices are just not really going anywhere, and they're just chopping people up because there's probably plenty of people going long above that. But yeah, I marked this. I mean, this is very low risk, 4 ticks, lots of room back to the EMA. The only problem is that it's not a lower high. But yeah, that's the only problem. But you would get filled, and then prices just start to, they just get congestive here. You got a little micro range right here. Anyway, prices break out. I didn't even think about this. This is actually also a counter trend breakout. So this is another reason to take this trade. I only marked it because it's a lower high, but it's a counter trend breakout far from the EMA. So I actually really like this, and I might it might be a blue trade. That might be a really good one. I'm very interested to see how Mac marks this chart up today. All right, so we get movement down. I probably should have marked this channel here. Looks like we get some movement down. This is like a second entry short, first entry, second entry. Maybe it's like a failed second entry long. Failed second entry long, and it looks like a second entry short. So that's a few reasons to take it, and it's off the trend line and EMA, so I like that. You get a overshoot that leads to a break, and then prices attempt this new low. Let's delete this, get this out of here. Then, so prices, to give context, this is the low of the day right here. And price has already made an attempt to go back in. So this is a range day. Prices are back and forth on both sides of the EMA. We make a big move down. But look at this higher low. First entry. It's also a first entry. It's a failed second entry short, right? It's a failed second entry short. It's a higher low. Plenty of room back to the EMA. It's like a break back into this area of congestion. That's why I like it. That's another reason. And that's why I marked this trade too. You see, you would get scalped out, comes back to the EMA. Look at this almost engulfing bar. People who go short beneath that, they get a scalp. But probably trapped shorts here. So you go long above this, it's back into congestion. That's why I like it. And it's off this. If you drew this, that's a confirmation of this channel or of this trend line. So that's the third touch. Back into congestion. There's a few reasons you might want to take that. And I would think that there are trapped shorts here because it shoots right up. And we get this big move up. I don't see anything in here. First entry. Looks like a failed second entry short, but it's congestive at the overnight low. Wouldn't take it. Get an overshoot. Unfortunately, there's just, I mean, you could maybe take this as a double test and go long above this. I think that's reasonable. Going long here. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. It's a good signal bar, double test, low risk. Yeah, 6 ticks. But we get a second entry here. I don't know. I wasn't watching this, so I don't know if this broke lower or higher first. If it broke higher first, you would have gotten stopped out. But at the same time, you might want to put your stop beneath this bar. Just something to think about. But if you entered on this bar, you definitely got filled. And your target got reached. You get this first entry. Okay, so this is like a second entry short that I like because after they closed above the overnight highs, and you, I guess, take this as like a failure. But it's tough to say. I mean, this closed beneath the EMA, so I don't know. And this is going right into the so if you were treating this like a failure, and you put your stop order beneath that, you're in good shape. But if you went below this, you would get your target, but that's a big bar. I don't know if I like that. Anyway, prices then just have they range for the rest of the day, and this is like a fourth quadruple test. You get this level, this level, this level, this level, boom, and you get a good signal bar. Plenty of room to the top of the range, so I like that. And that's it. That's all for today. Be sure to watch Mac's video for today, because I would say this was kind of a difficult range day. Not a lot of good signal bars. Alright, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow.